Welcome to Life Crisis Today. I am your host, Samantha Beck. Life Crisis Center provides services to victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse in Wicomico, Somerset, and Worcester counties. With me today is Lisa Garcia. Lisa is the Outreach Coordinator Liaison for the Life Crisis Center. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Today, she will be talking to us about the services offered by the Life Crisis Center. Lisa, can you please tell us what the Life Crisis Center is?
Sure. The Life Crisis Center is a nonprofit organization that was established in 1976. The Life Crisis Center helps victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse, and like you mentioned it, in the Tri-County area, which is Wicomico, Somerset, and Worcester. Our mission statement is to improve the quality of life in our community through crisis intervention.
What services does the Life Crisis Center provide?
The Life Crisis Center provides different services. We provide counseling, we provide legal services, we have a shelter, we have a hotline which is available 24/7, we have the visitation center, we have advocates who they're part of the legal department, but they are medical advocates and legal advocates as well. And we also have anger management classes, and we have the AIP.
Tell me some more about the counseling services.
So counseling is offered for individual and groups. We see adults and children as young as 3 years old, and adults, just adults up to, I don't know how old has our oldest client has been, but adults. We provide, like I said, counseling, individual and groups. So for groups, we provide group counseling for teens. We have in the past. We're getting ready to get another teen group. We provide domestic violence counseling for victims of domestic violence. So we have group in a group setting. So people who are in a shelter, they come to a group, but we also have group for people out in the community as well. With children, we do play therapy, and our therapists will go to the 3 counties, so they'll go to the child advocacy centers and they'll see clients there.
You had mentioned legal services. Can you tell me what kind of legal services you all provide?
Yes. So there's a staff attorney in the legal department. So the staff attorney will help eligible victims to get protective orders and peace orders as well. So we help with those who are in domestic violence. So if someone's trying to get a protective order against an ex-husband or ex-wife or their partner, current partner, we can help them with that, and that's where part of our advocates come. So an advocate will go to court and see the victim and talk to the victim and be there with the victim, and then they get referred to our services. So the advocate will be there hand holding, and also will be telling them about their what is it that they can get, or how is it that this what steps do they have to take to get to the next place.
What exactly is the Safe House, and who is eligible to stay there?
So the Safe House is a safe place for victims of domestic violence and their children, for female victims. When a victim is a male, we provide a safe place in a hotel. So when someone's in danger at home, they can come to the shelter. They call and they see, they do a checklist, and then they can stay in a shelter. The shelter, the longest stay will be 60 days. They can stay for 60 days. When they're in the shelter, they can get, so they have a case manager. So they work on goals and the objectives and how to get to those goals. Children stay in school. We work with the Board of Ed, so the children, they don't have to miss school, so they can still go to school. Sometimes our clients need to get benefits or apply for benefits, so we'll help with that, or we'll, like I said, with the case manager will help them with that and see what is it that they need for that, and what is it that the steps that they need to do to accomplish that or to get to that place. Some of our clients will get, that's how sometimes they get in touch with the legal department, so they come and then we refer them to the legal department. And when they're in the shelter, we provide food. They can still go and buy their food, their like particular food that they want, but we have food there. They can go work and then come back. So it's just a safe place, and There's always someone there. So if they need to talk to someone, we're always there. Like I said, they'll meet with their case manager minimum once a week, sometimes more. But if they need to talk to someone, they can talk. There's someone available. Also, when they're in the shelter, they go to group therapy. So once a week, they go to group therapy, and then also the children get counseling as well.
What is the Lower Shore Visitation Center?
So the visitation center is a visitation center for people who have a protective order. For example, not just for someone who has a protective order, but an example is protective order says child has to go and visit with a non-custodial parent, so it could be mom or dad. So we do exchanges, we do supervised visitations, and we do therapeutic visitations. So with the exchanges, let's say, if, for example, mom has custody of the child and the child is going to go and visit the non-custodial parent. So mom will drop off the child in one door, and staff will walk with the child to the other door where the non-custodial parent will be waiting, and then they can leave. This is so when sometimes in the protective order it reads that they cannot have any contact. So this is to avoid that kind of contact and for the child to be safe while the child is being exchanged, and also for the victim. Another thing that we offer is the supervised visitations. So when the child is not safe with a non-custodial parent, they can have visits there. So we have visit rooms where there's games for different ages, or that way the non-custodial parent can visit with a child and they still can have time together. There's someone there, a staff member who's monitoring the visit, and there's law enforcement there as well. So if something is said in the visitation that is not supposed to be said, or if the child is in danger, then that will end. So that's the purpose of someone being there monitoring it. Another service that we offer there is the therapeutic visitation. So then there is a therapist working with a non-custodial parent and teaching them tools. So how to be with their children and what to do and how to interact with them. So those are some of the services that the Lower Visitation Center offers, and people from the 3 counties can come. And they're not just court order. Sometimes we also have clients that social services will bring, and they also utilize our services as well.
What kind of classes do you offer?
So, like I mentioned in our services, we offer the AIP, which is Abuse or Intervention Program, which is 8 months, 32 weeks. And most of our clients for that group, they're court ordered, who will go to the Abuse or Intervention group. The people who go to that group are people who have been abusive towards a significant other. So it has to be, sometimes people say, oh, anger management, but it's not anger management. It has to be specific for a relationship. So that's why it takes so long. It's 8 months of group work. We also have anger management, which is a 10-week class, and that is like for bar fights, road rage, fighting with a neighbor. But that's just 10 weeks. So see the difference, 10 weeks, 32 weeks. So we offer those 2 classes. We also offer co-parenting for the Wicomico County. And that's the first 2 Mondays of each month. And we also offer Trauma 101, which is, it's like more in a group setting, but it's for parents or caregivers to learn about how trauma affects children and how trauma affects the brain and what to expect and how to work with those children and what to expect and how is it that giving them tools of what to do, and sometimes it also explains the process of how when someone has been abused, what happens. So they go and then they do an interview and talks about the CAC, which is the Child Advocacy Center, and how everybody works together to make things easier for the families.
Can you talk to me about the hotline?
The hotline, we answer several hotlines. We answer 211, which is a hotline for information and referral. We answer the Maryland Crisis Hotline, and We also answer the suicide prevention hotline and our regular hotline, which is 410-749-HELP. So all of those hotlines, if you call any of those hotlines, you'll contact us. We are available 24/7. For example, with the 211. With 211, if you dial 211 on your phone, and like I said, it's information referral. So if someone needs shelter, or someone needs food, or someone needs help with electric bill, when you call us, we will just ask you for the zip code. And based on the zip code and the location where you're at or the caller is at, we will tell them what's available in their area. So someone can be calling from Baltimore, someone can be calling from Crisfield or here in Salisbury. So that's a statewide. Each state has their own 211. Sometimes we get calls from Delaware, which maybe they were on the line or they were on this side. So what we do is that we will give them the 1-800 number. And also 211 is online. If you go on 211, you can also get information that way. The Maryland Crisis Hotline number is 1-800-422-0009. And the Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. And the one in Spanish is 1-888-628-9554. And like I mentioned, our hotline is 749-HELP or 410-749-4357. And 211, you just dial 211. Just remember like 911, but just a 2 in front of it.
Does the Life Crisis Center charge for their services?
No, we don't. We are grant funded and our services for victims are free. We receive donations from the community, and the only services that we charge for actually are the anger management classes and the abuse intervention classes.
You mentioned donations. What kind of donations do you receive, or what kind of donations are you in need of?
We receive different kind of donations. So we receive monetary donations, but we also receive items. We have a wish list on our website which has items as baby products, cleaning supplies, like a start kit for a family when they get their own place. And you will be able to see the wish list on the screen. The viewers will be able to see it. There are also like art projects for the children. We also have families who will adopt other families, or people in the community or businesses who will adopt families for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. So they can have a Thanksgiving dinner, they can have a Christmas dinner. We also have people who bring clothing or who will bring things that they might not need anymore, or they were at the store, they saw something and they brought it. A lot of our clients are people who come to our shelter, they come with whatever they have in their bags. I remember this family or this mom and 2 children that they got to the shelter in the middle of the night. The police officer brought them. They were on pajamas. And the next day we were on our way to court, and client felt bad because she had just had pajamas and she had socks and nothing else. So we went into her shed and looked for items that she could wear, clothes that she could wear, clothes that her children could wear, so we could go to court. So we have those kind of items waiting for when someone comes in, they have something. We also have welcome bags, and we put them together. Sometimes church will get them to us, but it's a welcome bag. Welcome bag for the children to, they're in a new place, they've been through a lot, they got there, they don't know where they're at least something to make them comfortable. Mm-hmm. So they could be coloring books, they could be a stuffed animal, a book, something that is theirs. And for the ladies, we also have toiletries in that bag, or maybe a notebook, a pen, for them to journal. So something that makes them feel comfortable, like, okay, well, I'm here, even though I'm not at home, I'm in a safe place and I'm welcome. So those are items that we receive, or that's, like I said, sometimes we need. And if your viewers will want to get more information, they can visit our website, or like I said, it's gonna be on the screen.
And where can viewers get more information about where to find the list?
They can find it on our website, which is www.lifecrisiscenter.org, or they can also call our hotline, which is 410-749-4357.
How do people know about your agency, or how do they get there to receive services?
So there's several ways. Some get referred by other service providers. Like I mentioned earlier, with this family in particular that came to my mind, police officer brought her. So that's one way. Another way is if someone has been assaulted and they go to the hospital because an advocate was called, then the advocate will tell them about our services. And sometimes we have people who have been assaulted at the hospital and they come straight from the hospital to our shelter. Or they might not come to the shelter, but then they'll call for services for counseling or for the legal department. Another way is if someone's at court and the advocate tells them about our services, they can come to us. We also have posters around the Charlotte County area with our information. Police officers, like I mentioned, when someone has an incident, a domestic violence incident, and the police get called, there is a questionnaire that they ask, some questions, and based on what their score, then they can call a hotline. So they call the hotline, the police officer calls the hotline and tells the hotline counselor what were the questions, yes or no, and then the hotline counselor will talk to the victim and offer services, and that's the lethality assessment, what they do. Another way is that if the person says, no, I'm okay, I don't need services, or I don't want to talk to a hotline counselor, then the lethality assessment coordinator, she will contact them probably after a couple of days and say, offer services again. So that's another way. Another way is viewing the show. We have viewers who call and say, this is what's going on, or call the hotline. And sometimes when someone calls a hotline, let's say for example, someone called the hotline for 211 for some information, but then by talking to a hotline counselor, they see that they can get other services. It may come, maybe they went through domestic violence in the past and they're still struggling, or maybe they were abused as children. And then by talking to the hotline counselor, then they know they can come and receive services, then they'll be transferred to one of the therapists so they can schedule appointments. So there's different ways that someone can come to across us or come and receive services. Some of our clients also have, like the children have received services and years go by and then the parents come and get services because they knew of the services, or because a friend or a family member said, I've heard about this number, I've heard about this place, why don't you give them a call? So it's different ways.
That is great information, Lisa. Our viewers now have Life Crisis Center's information and they can give it to others who need it. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any questions or would like more information, you can contact the Life Crisis Center hotline at 410-749-4357. The hotline is available 24 hours a day. You can also visit our website at www.lifecrisiscenter.org. Thank you to PAC 14 for making this show possible. Thank you for watching Life Crisis Today. Have a nice day.